Hey viewers and viewresses, my name is General Red Strategist and welcome back to another round of Reddit reactions with myself and Phil. Phil's joining me via Skype. How you doing over there, Phil?
Another bunch of interesting Reddit there are, because there's hundreds and thousands and millions. There's probably millions of various different subreddits that we're gonna try and get through as many as possible. Obviously, last time we did a good one. We did no, yes, and the way we were, which are very interesting. So what are we starting off with this time, Mr.
Well, this
Taylor?
is one that I've picked. This is r/evil buildings. So as the title up there says, if the building could be the home to a supervillain or evil corporation, it belongs here, Phil. So I thought this would be an interesting one because I was kind of looking through various subreddits just before this, thinking, okay, what shall I pick? And at first I was looking at things like, architecture and urban exploration, stuff like that. Then I came across this and thought, actually, you know what? This probably would make for an interesting themed one. So we'll do this one.
It's an interesting theme. It's interesting to see what sort of buildings are out there in the world, because loads of places will have all sorts of different buildings. It'd be interesting to see what sort of buildings look like they're headquarters for an evil organisation.
Indeed. So we're starting off with this top one here. I'm getting villain vibes from the Shanghai Tower in Shanghai, China. Let me just put that in full screen. Apparently there is sound, so let's play this one.
Well, I don't think really. It's just showing a building. It's not really.
Not much point sound. I think it's also quite loud because it's a song. Okay. I mean, not going to lie though, Shanghai does, from pictures I've seen, have some pretty incredible architecture in it. I mean, look at that. Just the way it sparkles like that, though.
I know it is, and it looks a very nice building. I know what building it is. It's got the little. You know what it's got at the top there? Here we go. Spirals.
There we are. It's a reference back to the services map that me and Phil once did for my RTCW. Yeah, that's the one. But definitely, I think it's probably just kind of the colour scheme and the fact that it's night in that one just makes it look very ominous with the red and the black.
Twinkling like that?
I think it's just the amount of, well, probably because it's a very modern building, so it's probably made of like steel and kind of glass and all that. It's very modern. But obviously the fact is it's just all the lights probably just reflecting off it, just make it very sparkly. But,
it is a nice looking building. I'd love to. I could see an evil corporation in there.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, it's just like I say. I mean, Shanghai is such a kind of city of so much modern architecture, and it's incredible, really, when you look at the kind of things that are there. Sorry, I'm just replaying this video over and over several times.
I like how there's a little tag before it that says "a real place."
Yes, in case we didn't know. But yeah, man, what kind of an evil organisation do you think would use that building, Phil? What kind of evil things would they be doing?
Who's the evil villain from Phineas and Ferb?
Oh, I don't know, actually.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz. That's it. Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
So you're saying he's the villain who would be in a building like this, then? I don't actually know who Dr. Doofenshmirtz is. I've never watched it.
You've never seen Phineas and Ferb?
I've never actually seen it, no.
What the hell happened to your childhood?
I don't know, Phil. I don't know.
You watch any cartoon things when you were younger?
Well, I guess the first one that comes to mind is The Simpsons, but yes.
That's a bit more adulty. I mean, the proper kids
shows and cartoons. I mean, if you're going way back to when I was friggin' like 4 years old, it probably would have been Thomas the Tank Engine or something.
Oh, the classic.
Yes. Maybe evil Thomas lives in this building, lording over. Indeed, who knows.
Okay, we've got our next picture, shall we?
One. Get past that promotion.
Right. Let's have a look. When you hire Loki to design your bridge.
That is quite a interestingly designed bridge. It's very claw-like, isn't it?
Fit.
Yeah.
It's called Evil Buildings. This isn't a building.
I mean,
this should be in the other one. I see on the right-hand side. Look, the subreddit's called r/evil architecture.
This is where this should be. Yeah,
it should really be on there. But anyway, I can see those. I can see where it's got that evil effect, the sort of curving metal bars.
It's very ominous. I think combined with the fact that it's very foggy, that probably makes it look like the bridge to hell or something. But
you know what it's reminding me of? Silent Hill. Because Silent Hill had the famous fog.
Yeah, man, Silent Hill, such an iconic series, that.
Iconic horror franchise, yeah.
Indeed.
It does look like that. It looks like a very cool bridge.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, with those kind of curving struts that curve upwards, are they just aesthetic, or do they actually serve a purpose? Do they have maybe like street lights or something? Yeah. Well, I was thinking, like maybe street lights or something, but I don't know, maybe they are just aesthetic, I can't really tell, but yeah, it is a kind of curious and interesting design.
I've looked on the right-hand side again, Andrew, and we've got to do that subreddit at some point, r/drunk buildings.
Drunk buildings, that probably would be a good one, actually, yeah. Go home building, you're drunk and all that. Yeah, that is a interesting one.
It's an interesting little bridge, yeah, I like that. It's definitely got that evil aesthetic, or the flair.
Indeed. Okay, well, on to the next one by Apricot Girl. So, the US Capitol by Ruben Dangour.
Now that is mysterious, isn't it?
Yes, that is
that's a good photograph.
That is a good photograph.
Very well there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just got it at the right time of day, and it looks very evil with its
the two slits
red
at the
lighting.
top, the sort of little eyes, and then it's got its teeth. Supposedly the teeth below, yeah.
Come in here. We got politicians in here, the most evil bunch of them all.
Oh, by the way, we've got better politicians. Yeah, we got rid of Trump. We've got Biden back.
Yes, indeed. Oof, getting political already, are we, Phil?
Very nice.
Yeah, we're going to trigger a few people. Deary me. Okay, yeah, but like you say, I think that's just a very good photo, though. Just the way. You okay? You're looking at the top of the building. Yeah, I think there is. There's like a statue of some kind on the very top of it.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? A figure up there.
Yeah.
It looks like the sort of place you'd see in a horror film, doesn't it?
Yeah, indeed. Or like a dystopian sci-fi future kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
This is what it'd be like if the Nazis won the war and took over the Capitol.
Yes, indeed. I was just thinking as well about that kind of statue at the top of it. I'm pretty sure... you remember how on my channel... my kind of intro kind of clips that I used to use on videos used to have like black and white footage.
You
like
did,
that.
yes. Oh my god, that's a bit of nostalgia, isn't it?
It is. But I remember one of the base videos that I once came across, which I can't remember if I used that one, actually had like a newsreel from World War II of basically a bunch of workmen who were repainting the dome on the Capitol in the US. And it was like really old footage, of course, because it's like 1940s. There's no like safety gear or anything. They're literally just climbing up ladders. They've got like no harnesses, and they're like standing way up there, however high it is, just lathering paint over the dome.
God, you've got to be careful there, haven't you?
Indeed. Yeah. So just a little aside there, little digression.
I like the misty sort of bit on the photograph as well. You can see a sort of misty effect.
Indeed.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Just got it at the right time of day, with the right kind of I was going to say aesthetic. That's not the right kind of right kind of lighting, essentially.
Right kind of lighting, absolutely. That's what you need. Okie dokie. We move on to Mecca's Royal Clock Tower, looking like Minas Morgul from The Lord of the Rings.
Wow, it is kind of actually, isn't it? That's
I can't say much there because unfortunately I've never watched the Lord of the Rings franchise. I know it's one of those things. There's people in the comments going to be going, "Oh, you up, mate?"
Yeah, like I say, I think I've said this before. It's been a while since I watched the Lord of the Rings movies. I can't actually remember. Was Minas or is it Minas or is it Minas? I can't remember how they pronounce it.
It's a Minas Tirith, isn't there?
Yeah. I can never remember how it's pronounced. But
no, you know what this reminds me of?
Go ahead.
The beacons from Minecraft. Yes.
Actually, it kind of does, doesn't it? Who knows? Maybe it's made
cool
of a.
Effect,
it is actually. It's just that.
But it has got that
evil
building effect, like it's a death ray.
Yeah, death ray weather control machine or something. Particle cannon.
What game was that? Yeah, what game was that we used to play a lot?
The particle cannon. That was Command and Conquer Generals.
That was wasn't it?
Yeah, the US faction as their super weapon. They get the particle cannon, which like fires up to the air, and I think it's supposed to like reflect off like a mirror satellite, and then it comes down on the target. So, man, Command & Conquer Generals was a good game. A bit politically incorrect, but I remember it being quite funny. Yeah, just for its mechanics and all that. But yeah, who knows? Maybe the people...
It's a light show.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe it is a nefarious purpose and they're actually secretly firing particle beams up into the upper atmosphere or something. Who knows?
Well, they went to carve their own insignia on the moon.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's what it is. They're giving the moon laser eye surgery.
Oh, I can see again. Hello. That's what you look like.
Basically, they blast the moon with that beam of light, and it turns into the moon from Majora's Mask.
Oh God, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that's the. Oh God, that's a creepy moon.
The creepy moon. Absolutely. Creepy moon. Okay. Yes. There we are. Right, it's me, isn't it? Lucille, Marina, Katara Towers. Oh.
My goodness me. You know what that looks like? It looks like a fucking Hellgate.
Yeah, portal to another dimension or something.
I know, doesn't it? My God, that goes under the category of evil buildings.
Indeed.
Absolutely. My goodness me.
It just...
Oh no, you know what this is? This is the real life version of the Minecraft Nether portal.
The real life version. You just expect a massive gas to come through at any second.
Yeah. Oh God, made this horrendous noise. Apparently, the noise of the gas in Minecraft is supposed to be something like a mixture between a cat mewing or a cat in pain or something.
Oh. Okay.
And something else, but I can't quite remember what it was. But yeah, this looks like a portal to absolute hell.
It does impress me though with the shape of it, because modern architecture and all that. The things they can do now with the right materials and the right planning.
It also looks like it hasn't been completed.
Yeah, it does look like it's partway through construction. So
maybe it is, and we just don't know.
Yeah, it's got those cranes on it by the looks of it, or around it rather, I should say. There you go. That's, where exactly is this? I don't actually know. The place names don't really ring a bell.
Lucille Marina. Let's have a look. Lucille Marina. Lucille Marina Tower. Where are you, Lucille Marina Tower? The Lucille Marina Tower and development consists of 3 main elements. I don't care what elements it has. It is located in Burj. Oh, is it Abu Dhabi? Oh, it's in it's in Doha, Qatar.
Okay, so Middle East. Okay, yeah. Okay, that actually makes sense. Yeah, because they do have some pretty incredible architecture in parts of the Middle East.
That's impressive. I like that.
Very big. Good stuff.
Okay. Next, we have, Andrew, the Church of Scientology, but in the Tokyo version.
The Tokyo branch of the Church of Scientology. Oh yes, definitely evil organisation living in there.
Yeah, it's compared to the other buildings, a bit more nondescript.
Yeah. I guess that kind of makes it slightly creepier, though, doesn't it? Because it's a bit more unassuming.
It's Tom Cruise? He's a member, isn't he?
Indeed. I think Tom Cruise is. I think John Travolta might be as well.
John Travolta as well.
Possibly. I don't know.
I don't understand. What are their sort of beliefs?
That's what I'm never too sure about. So I don't know. It's like people say, I've heard various things, but I don't know how true any of them are. In terms of they believe in there's going to be an alien ascension and stuff like this, and I don't know, is that true or is it just silly things?
I think they also believe that the head politicians of the world and leaders of the world are all lizard creatures.
Oh right.
Yeah, that might be something as well. But I know that's a big conspiracy theory too.
Indeed.
But to sure, maybe that's a good thing for them. They don't want to stand out, and that's why they've chosen a nondescript building.
Yeah, exactly. So they can hide away unassuming appearances and things like that. Because if you took on for a giant, flashy building that draws immediate attention to you.
The banner looks very close to the logo for Didier Sachs, who's the fashion brand. Yeah.
Maybe they stole it and just redesigned it a little bit for their own purposes.
It just looks like a generic, boring office building. It really does.
Yeah, looks like any office building the world over, basically.
Turn up there for your 9 to 5.
Your 9 to 5 worship of the aliens from above.
That's it, yeah, the Scientology.
Maybe I should Google sometime, or Wikipedia, what Scientology actually is, because I just, like I say, I hear a lot to do with kind of conspiracy theorist connections, but I don't know how true any of it actually is. I mean, I've heard things about it being basically akin to a bit of a cult, but beyond that, I don't really know anything.
They have it in. Do you remember in GTA 5, the GTA 5 version of it? Do you remember what it was called?
Oh, I can't remember what it was called, but I do remember the building and the dress that they wear and things like that. Shit, what was it called?
Remember. I'll reveal the answer in a minute. Remember.
Is it something beginning with E?
Yes.
It is something beginning with E.
I'll give you the initials. EP.
Oh, shit. It's not coming to me.
You do some missions for them. I think you did a few as well. The Epsilon program.
Epsilon program, that's it. Yeah, there you go. The GTA 5 version of them, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, yes, but as we know, GTA takes the piss out of them because, they take the piss out of everything. That's the whole point of the GTA games, taking the piss out of American culture.
Indeed. There you go. So that was the Church of Scientology in Tokyo, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. This thing in London looks like something from Gotham City. Wow, that is
impressive. Gotham City, of course, the place of Batman.
Yeah. Let's just see, all the kind of exposed pipes and things like that. I'm pretty sure there is an architectural term for that kind of style where it's you have the inner kind of gutty works of the building seemingly kind of exposed to the open elements with all pipes and cables and stuff like that. There's probably a proper architectural term for it.
Do you think those are stairs? You can just travel up the exposed metal rounded bits.
Yeah, I guess it might be a stairwell. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like there's one kind of over on the other side as well.
Oh yeah, there is exposed pipework. There's a famous building in France, the Pompidou Center, which is otherwise known as the Inside Out building.
That's
because all of its pipework and everything is on the outside.
Yeah.
And the other stuff's on the inside. Yeah, the Inside Out building. It's called the Pompidou Center.
Pompidou, yeah. That's actually quite an iconic example of what I was talking about. Yeah.
Well, I think we went to see it because it's in Paris, and when we went on a school trip to Paris, we actually went past the Pompidou Center. It's very interesting. Yeah, all this weird. It's all the piping and everything's just outside.
Indeed.
You're like, oh, how does this work?
So this looks like very much the sort of building that the Joker would be using as a headquarters then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely an evil building. Yeah. I wonder what this building's actually used for, but like I've got a building a bit close to home for us, which is good.
Indeed. Yeah.
London's still a fair old whack.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next one then.
So this happens to be the Ribbon Chapel.
Ribbon Chapel. I mean, that's a very...
spirals, yeah.
Spirals.
That looks like the spiral map that we did for Turnhouse Woolmerstein. Do you remember when you went up the thing? Yeah.
The surfaces map, yeah.
That's a pretty cool sort of design for a sort of chapel church thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, actually.
Yeah, very modern. Very modern.
Very peculiar. I'm just wondering, like, what's the kind of main material of the outer spirals? Is that concrete or is it something else? I can't quite tell. It looks like maybe actually could be wood of some kind, just judging by like the lines and the general colour, but I'm not sure. But yeah, again, maybe headquarters of a evil cult or something. Wow,
it looks impressive on the inside. I've just googled it. It's actually located in Onomichi in Hiroshima in Japan.
Oh, okay. So
it's located in Japan, and the inside's very sort of spiral ramp up towards the top.
Okay, I would have guessed maybe somewhere in like Europe or America somewhere, not rather than Japan. But no, interesting. Yeah. Well, I guess it just goes to say, how impressive modern architecture can actually be with all its flowing curves and everything.
Very nice.
Indeed.
Okay, what have we got next, Andrew?
What have we got next? Adam Schuster House, built in 1878 in St. Joseph. Which state would that be?
I think that's Missouri.
Missouri, okay, right. I mean, yes, that's a very Addams Family looking house, isn't it? Kind of.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm just going to check that on Google. Oh, it is Missouri. Yeah, MO is Missouri.
Okay, Missouri. So we are in the kind of state that we guessed, yeah.
Yeah, it is very sort of, what's that?
Gothic, maybe, or...
Gothic, what's that horror film? Amity Horror.
Oh, Amity House? Amityville?
Yes,
something like
it.
that.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it's like kind of old-fashioned, kind of American country mansion type thing.
A mansion from a series of unfortunate events.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Count Olaf's mansion.
Yeah. So not so much an evil villain or organisation as spooks and ghouls living in this place.
It is very spooks and ghouls type thing. You wouldn't want to see that in night time.
No, you wouldn't. Could you imagine just the red glow coming out of the windows?
Children, I have sweeties for you.
Oh, the child catcher, is that who we're saying now, Lucille? Yeah.
From Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, man. Whoever that actor was who played that did such a good part.
I know, they did really well.
They did. Such an iconic character. Yes. Can we get your lollipops?
God, yeah, that was pretty awful. Okay.
There we go. Haunted house, everyone. On to the next
right, the next one is Orange County's former government building.
Wow, that is quite a hodgepodge of a building, that is, isn't it?
What's going on here?
So that's...
It's like the architect went, that goes here, that goes here. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fine like that.
It's like when you're a kid and you have a load of building blocks of different sizes and you just sort of mash them together into a weird shape.
Yeah, that's what it is a bit, or where you put Lego pieces into weird sorts of formats.
Yeah.
Singular car there. Just he's the only one working today, this guy.
Yes. I was just thinking, it's kind of a bit brutalist because it looks very concrete, but at the same time it's just such a weird shape with all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious to know what the interior of that building would be like, because I feel like it'd be lots of corridors and be a bit of a labyrinth, but
Oh yes, it probably is going to be a few cards just a link to each one. Unless it has that funny effect where outside it looks like this, but inside it's just normal.
Yeah, I mean, we're just looking at it there from one side. You never know. Maybe like right in the centre of it, there's maybe like quite a big open space, and as a result, actually, it's just all the hodgepodge bits are all just kind of around the edge. But you never know. But yeah, just on the face of it from that picture, it looks very complicated.
Yes, I don't know why they've done it like that. And it's a government building as well, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it was a government building.
Yeah.
It no longer is.
Orange County. That's a fantastic one. Yeah. Okay. What do we got next?
Oh, it's the Bull Ring in Birmingham.
The Bull Ring in Birmingham.
I've seen this building before.
Yeah, I think I've seen pictures of this.
What is the Bull Ring? I'm just going to Google what is the Bull Ring because I've heard it's a famous sort of venue for something.
Yeah. God, it's a weird.
It's a contemporary landmark mall with diverse high street fashion and household shops plus restaurant.
Okay, I would not have guessed that.
No,
I would say maybe like a concert venue of some kind or something, but apparently
it's some sort of weird creature, and he's got a very long nose. You know what's been happening? He's been lying too much.
Lying too much? Oh man, fucking hell! Is this what Pinocchio looked like after he got magicked into a slug?
Pinocchio. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it is sort of a slug-esque type vibe to it, isn't it? That little thing. It's a cyclops slug.
Yeah,
there's a little slug there with its nose, and that's the mouth below. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a weird character in a surreal children's TV cartoon or something.
Oh God, it does, yeah.
Yeah, very peculiar, that one. But
that one is, and that's not too far away. It's only in Birmingham.
Yeah, only in Birmingham.
is still a fair way.
It is, yeah. Well, just goes to show. I mean, I'd like to kind of see actually a wider picture of that with all the buildings around it to see just how much it probably stands out from everything else. But
it definitely does stand out, doesn't it?
It does.
See the entrance there?
Yeah.
See the entrance? That's probably its chin. Down there,
Indeed.
There's its chin.
Yeah. There we go. The Bull Ring, everybody.
Pretty interesting. Oh, it's got. I've noticed it's got. It seems to be made out of tessellated pattern.
Yeah, it's like hexagon panels. Yeah, indeed. On to the next one. Ghosts live here, Phil. I can imagine they probably do. Yeah.
That's a very creepy one.
I wonder where
it looks like the scene where you could do a ghost walk.
Oh yeah, definitely. So is that...
It's got the old-fashioned style light there as well.
Yeah. I'm just going to scroll down to the comments. Does anyone down here actually tell us where this is? Because it looks kind of curious. On view entire discussion.
It's good that they're taking this when it's sort of gloomy. Because you can see it's gloomy. It's got grey sky up above.
Indeed. Oh, it's the Writers' Museum in Edinburgh, apparently this is.
Oh, it's a museum in Edinburgh. Right.
Indeed. Yeah, I was just scrolling through the comments trying to find someone who actually knows what it is, and that's what someone says. So, I love that kind of old architecture, I must say. It's very unique with a lot of like hodgepodge parts.
Buildings in the world.
Turret, Indeed. And just that kind of flat surface of like the buildings behind it. And that very grey overcast sky makes it very foreboding. I like it.
It does. It'll be even worse at night, definitely.
Especially a historical building like that. Absolutely. Okay, on to the next one, I do think.
Oh my God. Oh, it's grim up north. This is in Manchester.
Look at that. Yeah. I feel like, wonder what building that is though in the background. Is that maybe like the Imperial War Museum or something?
Oh, you know what the style of this building is here? We've been to the Museum of Science and Technology. I think that was the style of that building.
Actually, couldn't it? Yeah. Just come to think of it, the one in the foreground with the old sort of warehouses.
Yeah, that was where the power hall was.
Could be that, actually,
just a bit of plugging here. For those who want to, because me and you have been on a museum trip to the Manchester Science Museum, of course. For those who are interested in learning more about our trip, we have actually done a discussion on our trip to the museum. It was a So You're Being Hunted episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So You're Being Hunted episode. I think it was episode 143, but I can't remember the exact one, but it was called Manchester Science Museum, and we had a big discussion about our day out to it. So if you want to learn more about what we went to see and how it all was, definitely watch that video.
I was just scrolling through some of the comments, and I think the tower in the background might be Beetham Tower, or Beetham Tower, how you pronounce it, which may be near the Manchester Science Museum. I'm not sure.
Could very well be.
It
could
be.
Yeah,
at least that's what people in the comments are saying, so possibly. But that's quite an ominous shot, though. Just the thing moving out in the background.
Yeah. The one in the background definitely looks more like for an evil corporation.
Yeah,
I would say, absolutely.
indeed. Great. So should we do another couple more, and then we'll go over to your
Yeah,
subreddit of your
we'll do
choice?
2 more.
Yeah. Okay. Is it me? It's me, isn't it?
It is,
yeah. Okay. Right. Now I have to do a freaking French accent for this. Les espaces d'accès en Nouvelle-Zélande, France, 77.
77 or 76. Oh, we've got 4 pictures here. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a interesting. My first thought was kind of like, it's got that crescent shape, like, say, the Royal Crescent in Bath, but of course this is a very different kind of building.
Is that many layers up? It looks interesting. Like, bloody hell, you can go along the grass here and then,
whoa! That's, pretty impressive, actually.
Oh, my goodness me. Yeah, I'm just looking at the...
Holy shit.
Wow.
That first picture in particular is really... It's quite stands out a lot. Yeah, striking to me. Just because you look at the height of the building with all the different levels with the different windows, and it's like you see like the grassy roof they have on top.
I know. It looks a bit like go to picture 4.
Yeah.
It looks very much like there's a sort of Colosseum-esque vibe.
Yeah, very rounded, isn't it? It's very. I don't know. It looks very kind of dystopian. That to me, I could see that being like a setting for a game like Half-Life or something.
Yeah. It's very
City 17 and all that.
Got that vibe, isn't it? Oh,
Definitely.
That's an interesting place.
A bit kind of brutalist, very kind of authoritarian, drab-looking. But it's the thing, because sometimes, even though I'm not a fan of kind of brutalism in kind of practice, I can sort of admire sometimes the aesthetic of the buildings when they do look quite visually striking and impressive, if that kind of makes sense.
It looks a bit like a library.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
That'd be an interesting library, yeah.
I know, isn't it just?
Indeed. All right. One more then.
And the final one, which is just a lower tier villain at home.
Wow. I guess that's some kind of apartment building or something, but it's just the very kind of sort of flat texture of it. Yeah. It's like scales on a...
There's only one office working on this day. Yeah, got the lights on.
Yeah. That's pretty impressive, though, actually, isn't it? Because it's like, I guess when the lights are not on in other places, it's like the windows go very dark, so you can't kind of see in.
You can't quite see in. So, so it might have a tinted effect.
Yeah, exactly. Very peculiar.
It's very ominous as well.
Indeed.
It's funny when you use like black tiles or black things like that. It makes it very ominous.
Especially with the right kind of weather and lighting. It makes it very dreary and spooky a bit as well. I like it. Well, that was an interesting little
take
subreddit.
on the evil buildings, yeah.
Yeah, so we hope you enjoyed that one then, ladies and gents. But now Phil is going to choose out another one for us to look at. So I'm just going to jump cut here and we'll see you in a second, everybody. And we're back in. Phil has now picked out another subreddit for us. What have you got for us now, Phil?
r/interesting as fuck.
Indeed.
Yes. These are all sorts of things that anything that's really, really interesting and things to say.
So more kind of general thread of interest then, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. but a lot more interesting. Apparently, it's supposed to be a lot more interesting than like the mildly interesting. Which we have done before.
Indeed. That first one's interesting. Go ahead, Phil.
The KKK used to run a youth group called the Ku Klux Kiddies. A sobering reminder of how evil shit like this starts at home.
Ooh, yeah, that is. That's quite something, isn't it?
Oh dear.
Put it that way.
They even tried to get kids in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, that's probably been a pretty much a constant throughout history with any sort of organisation that espouses things.
Well, it was the Hitler Youth, wasn't it?
Yeah, because that's like the prime example. Like, you watch old footage of friggin' Nazi Party rallies, and they had like friggin' contingents from Hitler Jugend and stuff like that there. Just kids, boys and girls, like doing the Nazi salute, and it's just like, really kind of disturbing.
I know, it's awful, isn't it?
It is.
And now they do the little kids thing. Oh, the Ku Klux Klan. Yeah. Not something you want to see. They were horrible, horrible people.
Indeed, yeah. It's just like, you kind of feel kind of sad for the kids, because it's like that kid will, they'll be getting it from things like family and parents, and they'll grow up with that, and it's like later in their life, either it will lead to them going down a very dangerous path in life, or they'll reach that point where maybe they get exposed to other points of view. They realise that all the things they've been taught by their parents are completely morally problematic in the extreme, and as a result they just end up going through that really kind of uncertain period in life where it's like everything you were raised to believe you realise is kind of wrong.
Weirdly, the child looks like he's wearing a sort of the Pope sort of hat.
Yeah, there's no mask on that one.
Sort of Pope-esque.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty disturbing and harrowing one to start off with, but interesting. Yeah, absolutely, from a historical point of view. Say hello to America's newest national park, New River Gorge National Park in West Virginia, I'm guessing that is.
West Virginia, that'll be.
Take me home, Phil, to West Virginia and all that. That's the song from
76,
it is.
Isn't it? I've forgotten who it's by. James Dean, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, but again, pretty funny that we have this one, because again, it's kind of going back a bit to architecture and almost a bit like...
that is a lovely bridge, isn't it? Look at that scenery is gorgeous.
It is. It's a great picture, that. Just the colours of the surrounding forest and the hills. And...
Yeah, I wonder if it's in autumn.
Yeah, probably.
Or
actually. Fall. Fall, yeah, as they say in the States. Oh, man. I wonder what kind of bridge it is. Is it like a road bridge, or... I'm not entirely sure. I can tell.
It's something like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Man.
I'm not 100% sure of what that is, but it looks like... I think it probably is a train bridge, actually.
Train bridge. Could well be, actually, yeah. Railway or something. Who knows?
Probably something like a train bridge, I would expect. Yeah. Absolutely.
Testament to what humans can do, though, when they put their mind to it.
Good. A beautiful picture. Absolutely love that one.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a good one. Next one, then.
Okay. During the 4 years of the Civil War, FT?
Oh, that'll be Fort, probably, I guess.
Fort Stevens was the closest the Confederates got to Washington. During the insurrection on the U.S. Capitol building today, supporters... Oh, this was submitted 23 days ago. Supporters of Donald Trump carried the Confederate battle flag through the Capitol as they committed attempted sedition.
Yeah, getting political again, but man, it's kind of... I think it's interesting, obviously, for us as sort of, people from outside of the US kind of looking in at how much fucking kind of debate there still is going on in the US over Confederate symbols.
There's still people who waving these flags about
Indeed.
The Confederate and the Union, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think there's there's kind of two sides of the debate, with like one side saying, oh, it's just it's a symbol of kind of Southern American heritage and all that, but it's just like, but the problem is that flag is so heavily connected to the issue of kind of like slavery and to the legacy of that it is kind of it's. I know it's kind of makes, I think, a lot of people feel very uncomfortable when they see it.
I know, and it's a shame it's still going on. The Civil War was a long time ago now.
It was, yeah.
A long time ago, back in the 80s.
The legacy of it still seems to cast quite a huge shadow.
I know.
Over American politics. So,
unfortunately,
indeed. There you go.
We better move on. We don't want to be too political.
Yeah, we don't want to be. Okay, what have we got? I think it's your turn. Oh, no, it's mine, isn't it? An Eden's whale trap feeding in the Gulf of Thailand.
Okay.
So what's going on here? It's of course, it's like a... Oh, look at that. All the fish. So
Oh, right, okay. So it's... Oh, right, so...
Hey, there you go. Got that whale for the neck. That is a pretty impressive bit of footage, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, just like the fish are all going into its mouth.
Yeah.
And then it just comes like, it's my tea time.
Snap. There we go.
Yeah. Goodbye, fishies.
Yeah. It's funny to think, though, how such a massive creature has to eat so many thousands of these tiny little things.
Yes. Do you know the amount of fish that it eats is something they say they have to have like 10,000. It's like 10,000 calories.
Yeah.
Astounding.
Indeed, it is. Yeah. But such magnificent
At first, it looked
beasts.
like a shellfish, didn't it?
Yeah. At first, I wasn't sure what it was. Then I realised it's a freaking whale's mouth. That's what it is. Yeah.
In the Gulf of Thailand. Wow.
Yeah. Makes you sad, though, that these kind of creatures are under such pressures today.
Yes, there's a lot of issues, isn't there, with regards to things like this nowadays.
Indeed. Whether that's just relating to kind of things like pollution or over exploitation of them or whatever. But
yes, you've got that as well, because whale meat, whale blubber is
absolutely
used as well as, okay.
On to the next one then.
Gold medal winning vaults 80 years apart. The men's gymnastics. Oh, so we've got one from 1932 and 2012.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, the 2012 one certainly is a bit more impressive than the 1932 one. Let's put it that way.
Change, isn't there, in the impressive ratio?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's funny actually, because when you watch old footage of sporting events from like the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, and you know, a lot of the events are kind of fairly basic, to put it that way. If you sort of get what I mean, like they're not kind of very flashy and fancy. But then you see obviously ones now today where you've got people doing massive fucking, you know, somersaults and spins and things like that in midair, and it's just so impressive.
I know it is, isn't it? This is why I love the Olympics. Just having these moments, it's just fantastic.
Indeed.
I absolutely love it. But yeah, there's a massive difference there between 1932 and 2012. There's just a simple wee and then over. And whereas this one, he did a full-on somersault. Yeah.
See him go over one more time. Whoosh. There we go. Nice. Lovely. Indeed. Kids remote learning during a polio outbreak in the 1940s. Teachers read lessons over the radio. Wow, that's a very interesting one, actually. In light of everything going on today. My God.
Yeah, considering the crisis is going on today, So this is how they do. Obviously now we've got the BBC have got their bite-sized learning on there that they're doing now. So it's very sort of similar. This guy's got his essentials of geography.
There you go. I suppose the key difference, obviously, with today now is that, obviously, if you were learning with the teacher doing it over radio, it would very much be a one-way thing. The teacher would just probably talk, and the student probably just takes notes.
Yeah, you can't really feedback, can you?
Yeah, whereas now, obviously, with the wealth of technology we have now, we can make it more of a two-way process where students can ask questions back and things like that, and have a bit of a conversation.
I think we need to borrow that book because our geography skills aren't the best, are they, Andrew?
Yeah, indeed. Give me that essentials of geography, ladies and gents.
Oh, there's got to be in that book. Come on now, there's got to be. What is an oxbow lake?
An oxbow lake.
It's always about oxbow lake.
Not gonna lie, we learnt about that in school, and I can't remember what the fuck it was, other than the fact it's a lake of some kind. I guess it's due to the shape of it.
Contagious?
I assume, so it was. I mean, I assume it was.
So it's a bit funny having these kids together like this.
I guess, I don't know, are they maybe like members of the same family or whatever?
Oh, right, yeah, social distancing.
Yeah, it could be something like that.
Self-isolation, that's it, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah. Polio, of course, was such a big health issue, you know.
Oh, it crippled you. Yeah, you had
exactly.
to go into an iron lung.
Indeed. Major disease that was, or majorly serious disease rather. Oh, well, that is a very interesting as fuck one, that is. Not going to lie.
Yeah, look at the guy. This kid as well. He's leaning right in. He's like, sorry. What did you say?
Speak again. There we go.
Speak again. Yeah.
Indeed. And the little girl on the left, meanwhile, is just sort of looking at the camera, thinking, "What the hell is that radio talking about?" I don't have a clue where we are.
Oh yeah, famous black and white photos. Okie dokie.
Nice. I like that one. On to the next one then.
We've got a waterfall underwater.
Okay, it's an Imager link by the looks of it. So let's just look, get around cookies. So what we got? We got this animation, or this GIF, whatever you want to pronounce it.
Oh, you actually pronounced it correctly there. Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that. Just emptying it from the cup, and of course, I guess, you know, the stuff inside is heavier than the water, so it goes down.
I love impressive stuff like this.
I do like that. That's pretty awesome, actually. Wow. Yeah.
Makes a little waterfall underwater. Yeah, it is very impressive when these sort of things happen.
Yeah.
You know what I would say?
What would you say,
That this is interesting as fuck.
Indeed, yeah. Do you know what's awesome? Do you remember actually? Did you watch? I think it was Blue Planet 2.
I've seen snippets of it. I've not seen a full program. But,
have you seen or at least a clip from the one that they did of the deep sea, the abyss? Because there was part of that where David Attenborough was doing narration about brine lakes at the bottom of the ocean.
Right.
Where it's like you have this very kind of water that's so kind of thick with brine that because it's heavier than the surrounding water, it literally forms like underwater lakes, and it's like
I've heard of underwater lakes, because
the salt content in them is so high they can be like toxic to any animal that goes into them. It's like
is that what it's using there? Look, salt. Yeah, it looks like it's salt, isn't it?
Could be, couldn't it? Because whatever it is, it's heavier obviously than the surrounding water.
Yeah, that'll be a cool little attraction for the fishies. That will.
Indeed. Yeah, that was a great one. That was. I like it.
Great love. Okay, on to the next one, Andrew. Yep.
Solar panels being integrated into canals in India, giving us solar canals. It helps with evaporative losses, doesn't use extra land, and keeps solar panels cooler. That's a very innovative idea. I like it.
It's a very innovative idea, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I always thought, other countries, when you look at how they use solar kind of technology, they have very fascinating ideas. It's like, apparently, my parents, who've been several times in previous years to Italy,
right.
They sometimes say that, like, for example, they put solar panels along kind of stretches of things like highway and things like that. So it's like you're not using up necessarily new land, but you're kind of integrating it with existing infrastructure in a kind of unique way. So it's like solar panels along the sides and things like that. So it's in an area where it's it's not being kind of too intrusive on the environment. But that, in particular, on that picture, integrating it with the canal so the canal water actually keeps them cool so they don't overheat, that is a very good idea.
That is a very good idea. Yeah, solar panels are being used more and more now because obviously I see houses outside, have got them on the roofs to help with it because because unfortunately with things like fossil fuels, they're a non-renewable energy source. Yeah, and we're going to run out of them at some stage. So we need to start using things like geothermal energy and solar panel, using the sun.
Indeed.
The sun's going to be here with us for 5 billion years, so
absolutely.
Let's make use of it.
Make full use of it. I think, the technology for things like photovoltaic panels and stuff like that, it's come leaps and bounds. It's always advancing, so, you've got to keep pouring the R&D money into that.
The R&D, that's it. Get it shoved in.
Indeed. Yeah. Fantastic stuff. I like that one. That's a very interesting one. Like I say, very innovative. Just goes to show that even in this day and age, when there's a lot of kind of negative news and stuff like that, there are still people out there who are, thinking quite long term and who are really
thinking
kind
of portals.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Exactly.
Well, it's a good figure of speech actually for what really I'm trying to get at that one. So yeah, indeed. Over to the next one.
Okie dokie. First, the man takes the drink, then the drink takes the man. Sculpture created based off an old Irish saying.
Wow, that is a pretty impressive sculpture. See, like the face in the bottle.
Yeah, got the face in the bottle, so the man has a drink, and then the bottle takes over the face of the man. Yeah.
I like how where the liquid appears to be coming out of the bottle, it sort of like shapes into claws, like grabbing onto the arm.
Yeah. Oh, I see that. Grabbing onto the arm. That sort of joint unit, isn't it?
Pretty impressive sculpture, and some sculptors are so fucking talented.
Oh god,
yeah,
you need to train lots for this. It looks like the head is actually sort of silvery.
Yeah.
Making a sort of silver cast.
Indeed. Yeah. Man, I always wonder, the amount of craftsmanship that goes into making sort of like artworks in bottles, like whether that's something like that or whether it's like ships in bottles, things like that. Oh god,
the ships in bottles, yeah, how do they do that? That's crazy.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I think the way they do like ships in bottles, as far as I'm aware, it's like obviously you put them in piece by piece, but you do it with like the rigging of the little ship, so you can pull on it, so then it pulls everything up into position.
Up inside the bottle.
Yeah, something like that. It's just a very simplified explanation of it, but I think it's something like that. But in reference to something like this, who knows? Yeah, I'd be interested to learn how that's done.
I like that sculpture. Yeah, absolutely.
Very good one.
Okay.
On to the next one. The door to the sorry, clearing my throat. The door to the dining area of the Alcobaça Monastery in Portugal was made narrow, so that monks who got too fat were forced to go into fasting.
Oh,
wow,
that's clever.
Yes. So we can tell which monks are guilty of the sin of gluttony. It would appear.
Yes. So they have to fast, and it must be it's an interesting sort of life being a monk, because you can't do much. Obviously, you're giving yourself to God, and you that sort of celibacy as well. You can't really do much. It's like having to pray.
I suppose it depends on the
6 times a day.
The strictures imposed on whichever kind of monastic order you're a part of. But yeah, it's like, you kind of take a more kind of sparse and simpler lifestyle where you give up certain things in exchange for kind of, devoting yourself to all things spiritual.
Yeah, so no good for us because, you can't play video games.
No video games for us. Yes, give up all those vices.
So they said, the person goes up to, "Oi, fatty!
Yeah.
You better start fasting now, mate."
That's designing things so that it forces you to kind of live by your own values, so you're not being hypocritical or anything like that. That's interesting design. That.
Through the door.
Indeed. Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Okay, up next we have this mirror portrait was taken 100 years ago in Japan.
Wow. That's the original selfie.
The original selfie.
Indeed. I wonder who those two people were. That's a question that you always kind of think about when you see these old black and white photos. Who's the person?
You know which should this fit with? This would fit in the subreddit that we visited before, The Way We Were.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it would actually, wouldn't it?
Very much so.
I'm thinking, like, mirror portrait taken 100 years ago, so, what, 1921 or thereabouts?
Yeah.
Wow. That actually raises some serious questions, because if that was kind of 1920s, then it kind of makes you ask what would have ultimately happened to these two people, because you all know what obviously is coming up just a decade
very
or
soon,
two down the line. Yeah. Oh, so impressive picture, but also kind of saddening as well, in a sense.
Yeah, they do look a nice couple together, don't they?
They do, yeah. Absolutely.
Why is it that Japanese women always have that, every single time, they always have that cute look?
The cute
like
look.
Every single Japanese woman.
Yeah, I guess it's just Japanese
sort of kawaii look. Yeah,
Japanese cultural understandings of what femininity is and all that.
Absolutely, love it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next one. Oh, hello. Here's a picture of this asshole, Phil.
That thing there. You see that thing? You are a fucking twat.
Yes, indeed. The problems you've caused, COVID-19.
Oh my God, the problems you've caused. Why don't you just go piss off? Piss off. Come on, Andrew. Now I think now's the time
piss
to get
off.
angry.
Yes. God, fucking angry.
Twat, you fucking
blood's
belly.
fucking boiling
You
here, Phil.
Fucking twat. You fuck.
Everybody
I tell you what,
in
if
the
you were
comments.
monetised now,
I know.
Dear
be
God.
at this point. Yeah,
Oh,
indeed.
bloody hell, COVID-19. What have you done to us? What have you done to us? You have horrendously annihilated us.
Indeed. Yeah, ruined our lives and all that.
You know the alternate name for it, it's called the Crown?
Oh, yes, because it's...
because of the, because of the things on it. Yeah.
Spokes, for want of a better term.
There it is, everyone. That is the thing that's causing us so much pain right now. That right there.
Blooming heck. It's amazing, though, these
dirty
days.
little fucker.
I can get such interesting imagery of such microscopic, tiny little things. Technology has come a long way.
Technology. Okay, moving on. Entrance to a furniture store that my dad and stepmom checked out today.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
Keeping
I like
with the theme.
These crazy buildings out there that do things. I know there's one where there's like a furniture store. It's in the shape of a basket.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that one before, but yeah, it's very clever.
It reminds me a bit as well when I went to Geneva in 2013 with my master's course, and they had sort of, it wasn't like, not shops with this kind of thing, but they had like sculptures, and there was one just outside the UN building, where it's like a big chair, but one of the legs is missing, and it's like a memorial to people who've died from like landmines and things like that.
Oh right,
yeah,
clever.
Sorry, that got a bit heavier, but just first thing I thought
It's like
of.
a sort of chest of drawers, that isn't it, or a what's it called? Oh, what's it called? A tall boy.
Or something like
tall
that.
Boy.
Tall boy. That's the one. Yeah, it's just very in keeping with the theme and very creative.
Very sort of old-fashioned. That's very sort of old-fashioned style one. That one.
Someone's got some real imagination. I like it.
As well, yeah. Okay.
Great. Arizona, I should say firemen, not furmen, putting out a Mexican fire. Oh, so like on the border.
That's nice. Yeah. So even though they've got this border wall up, they're still helping out. Yeah.
Common humanity, restoring your faith in our species, ladies and gentlemen.
Where are the Mexican firemen then?
I'm guessing they might be out of shot, just on the other side of the building or something. I would.
Well, they haven't quite got there yet.
Or maybe they haven't got there. Yeah.
Call it, so to tell them out. Yeah. That's what you need. Restore your faith in humanity nowadays. That's what we need.
When there's a disaster or a crisis or people are in need, you can always trust there will be someone who steps up to the challenge.
It's got to be. These are the Arizona firmen, so what they do is they plant fir trees everywhere.
Fir trees, absolutely, yes.
And also put out fires for some reason.
Indeed, yeah. There you go. So, faith in humanity restored, it would appear, ladies and gentlemen. On to the next one.
Let's have a look at walking on Lake Baikal, which is in Russia.
Oh, wow, that. Oh, no thanks, Phil. No, thank you. Lake Baikal is.
I wouldn't do that.
No,
I wouldn't do that. One thing.
Yeah. Oh god, like you're getting close and showing how thick it is as well. Oof. Lake
You know,
Baikal is.
you know when people use the terms literally and
Yeah.
they don't mean it, and it can be very annoying for people.
Mm.
It could be very annoying. Well, I think we could say here, this person is literally walking on thin ice.
Indeed, yeah. Lake Baikal is pretty impressive though, because it's an inland lake in like Siberia or wherever it is, and it's so huge that apparently it has its own tides and things like that.
Yeah,
But,
but you wouldn't. If you go through,
no.
that's it.
Oof,
Good
I
God.
know. That's why no. This makes me feel uneasy, like it does with you.
Makes a lot of people feel uneasy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. It's just thinking though, like you take a step and suddenly you just hear it starting to crack. It's like,
Oh
oof,
God,
no
that's
thanks.
when you want to get off it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Run.
But of course you can't run very easily on ice because of how slippery it is. It's like,
Yeah.
"Ugh, no, absolutely not. Not for me, thank you very much."
Not for me.
Indeed.
Not for me.
I'll leave that to other people who are more
Absolutely, who are more
balls and
adventurous.
crazy than me. Alright, it's me, isn't it? This animation made using paper cutouts.
Oh, that's
That
interesting. So,
is very impressive.
yeah.
You say that. The thing is, if that's made using paper cutouts, yeah, it's like you must have like pins or something behind which you manipulate with your fingers, so it makes
Yeah,
it do the
to move the body,
yeah.
move the eyes, and twirl the gun as well, and move
Indeed.
the hands. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
Blimey.
little Calamity Jane that you've made there. OP, I'm assuming, is the person who made this. I'm guessing it's the same person who posted it, but indeed.
You know, it's very anime-esque, isn't
Very
it?
kawaii.
Ooh.
Ugu, that's the one.
it.
There you
That's
go.
very
I like that. Very
I
good.
like that
Very
as well.
creative. Good job, person who made that.
Well done, person who made that. 44 years ago today was the first and only time it snowed in Miami, in Florida.
Wow, 1977. Hot damn. Wow.
So, it
I guess,
snowed, so I wonder what the conditions must have been for it to snow, because obviously Miami's famous for being super hot.
yeah.
Super hot. Super hot.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that game.
Game
Yeah.
reference. Wow. I guess that was a once in a lifetime kind of thing, though. Yeah, those kids in that shot probably could remember that day very, very well. I would imagine. They probably look back on it and reminisce. Hey, do you remember that one day? Actually, hang on, they're American, so they won't sound like that. Do you remember that day? When it
Everyone's
snowed
just
in
northern
Florida?
to you, are they?
Everyone's northern to me.
Everyone's just
apparently.
northern. Yeah, so on Jan the 6th, there we go.
Fantastic.
1977, yeah.
Yeah. Lovely stuff.
God, it started
Brilliant.
snowing in Miami.
Yeah. There you go. On to the next one then. Snowfall in Hokkaido. That
Oh
is-
my goodness me. Yeah, that's quite some snow. That's
Yeah.
telephone boxes.
Would you step inside that telephone box?
No, I'm surprised it's not been crushed by the weight of that snow.
Yeah.
Um,
Oof. Wow. Nature, man. Nature's scary sometimes, but
I know, that snow is just having a nice sit down.
indeed.
It's like, I'll have a nice rest here. Yeah, that's it.
I'm just
That is,
looking at
that's
the,
crazy. How is the phone box not broken? I don't know.
Guess it must be a testament to how structurally sound it actually is that it can take all that weight on top of it. But yeah. Oh man. This actually, oh god, sorry, I'm digressing a bit here, but it just reminds me of another little story from my youth. Not to do with snow though, but I remember actually when I was in year 7 of high school.
Right.
And we were doing woodwork and in D&T, and as our task we had to make like a
God, I remember D&T, yeah,
little wooden
design
structure.
technology.
Yeah, we had to make like a little wooden structure that could stand up to several different weights. And so like we would make these things. We had to make sure it was structurally sound, and then we'd have like the big test of it, where the teacher
Right.
would first put a dead weight on it, and if it can withstand that one, he'd then ask one of the students to stand on it, and if it can withstand that one, then the teacher himself would climb up on it and stand
Oh,
on
God.
it. Yeah.
Let's see if
Yeah. And I remember there was like one of them, I can't remember whether it was the one that me and a partner had worked on or whether it was someone else's, but there's one that as soon as the teacher stood on it, he literally just went straight down to the floor. Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. I remember
Yeah.
design technology. I made some interesting stuff. I made my own little box as well, which was interesting. I remember the days.
Yeah.
Those school days.
Ah.
Okay,
There you go.
right.
Nice.
On to the next one,
On to
which
the
is
next one.
6 years in. Pakistan's billion-tree tsunami making a difference.
Oh, wow. 2014,
Oh.
2020. Look at this. Just as soon as the picture loads up. There we go. Wow. The colour difference between those
I
two
know.
things.
Yeah, it looks very arid and brown in 2014, and then 6 years later, look at the bloom of the green.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, like the title says, this is originally a tsunami that came over, but maybe it just like irrigated and brought enough nutrients into the Earth to actually enable
This
that
reminded me
growth.
of when you used to fly to, when you used to go on holiday to like Spain.
Oh yeah.
Instantly when you're coming finally land in Spain, how arid and dry everything is.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Aye, absolutely.
Remember that when we used to go on holiday with family.
Yeah.
Wow. That is an interesting difference, though.
It is an interesting difference. Speaking of aeroplanes and looking down at the landscape below, that reminds me of another story. I think it was me and family.
God, you're full of stories.
I know, I am, sorry, but we love these digressions. So we were like coming back from a holiday in like Greece or somewhere, and we must have been like a good couple of hours into the flight, and I remember I was sat on the window seat. I looked down out of the aircraft and I just saw this white circular structure down on the ground below. And bear in mind, we've obviously been playing, so we're pretty fucking high up. And I thought, oh yeah, we're going over London, clearly, because we could see a river right next to it. And yeah, it's the Millennium Dome. Just like being able to see it from all that high up, because of course it is a big building, Millennium Dome or O2 Arena, whatever you want to call it.
Huge.
Yeah, and I always remember like turning to my parents and saying, oh, we're flying over London right now. And she's like, well, how do you know? Because I can see the Millennium Dome from all the way up here. Wow.
Yeah, it's big building. I like things when you see things like this, images like this.
Indeed.
It's very intriguing.
Yeah.
Indeed.
On to next one. Shall we do a couple more and then
do a couple more? Okay. Yeah. If you ever wanted to see a sunset on another planet, here you go. This beautiful sunset was taken on the Martian surface by Curiosity on April the 15th, 2015.
Wow, that's a impressive image.
There we go. So there's the sun setting on Mars.
Indeed. Wow. Man, God. To think that one day humans might be,
colonising Mars.
Who knows? Yeah.
And obviously the sun's further away there because Mars is further away.
Yeah.
And that is pretty impressive.
We live in exciting times, everybody. Very exciting times.
Curiosity. You know what's sad about Curiosity is it sang Happy Birthday to itself when it reached its birthday on Mars. Yeah.
Yes, alone for the time being.
Alone, absolutely.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy to think though, like not just in relation to Martian exploration, but to space in general, how many things we've kind of sent up, and like, for example, like the Voyager probes now, which are out in deep space and all that.
Oh God, yeah, they've gone past the solar system now. Yeah.
God, it's so impressive. Space exploration is always fascinating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, it still goes on. Yeah.
Indeed. So, on to the final one then, I guess. End versus beginning of 2020. Here we are. This is Times Square, is it, by the looks of it?
Yes, it does look like it. Yes, that's the end of. Oh dear, look at the difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, isn't it?
It is.
We couldn't have the amazing sort of celebrations we've had in the past, but I still think. Like for example, the organising committee for the light show in London at the end of 2020, they still put on a fairly good show, didn't they? So
they certainly did. They certainly did, and we've had a crisis. We've had to deal with it, so that's why it's very barren.
Indeed. Yeah. What can you do, eh? But it's just still there's plenty of reason to be optimistic and happy about things going on in the world.
It's supposed to be like police or something, making sure that people are not going out.
Yeah, maybe like police or kind of hired security or something. Something like that. I mean, you see, they've got like the crowd control barriers down the left and all that, which, I mean, to be honest, I imagine they have that every year, but it's just striking how empty it is.
Yeah, and there's lots of pictures like this that you can see between the months of the year that we had last year. What a shit show that was.
Indeed.
But hopefully things will be on the up. But yeah.
Indeed. Well, there you go, everybody. I think we'll round up there for this latest edition of Reddit Reactions.
Yes, very interesting. We've had some good ones there.
Evil buildings and then interesting as fuck. So we hope you found some of these pictures interesting as fuck, Phil.
I certainly did, Andrew. Did you?
I did indeed. Very interesting as fuck. Indeed. The amount of times I can say interesting as fuck in the space of a minute or so, who knows?
60 seconds, yeah.
Yeah. Well, in that case, we'll wrap up here. So Facebook and Twitter links down below, along with a link to my propagandist channel for anyone interested in that. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Thank you, Phil, for joining me.
No worries. I do like this. I do like when we have a go at Reddit reactions, because there's hundreds upon thousands upon millions of different subreddits. So it'll all be interesting to see the different ones and the various ones. We'll get through as many as we can.
Indeed.
Yeah.
So, goodbye then, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Okay, so
I guess that's definitely.
Oh, I've got to ask the most important question.
Yes.
Do you have dynamite? There we go. go, of course. Dynamite diffused. I know.
So this guy
stuff.
here appears to be wearing some sort of sports gear. He's looting.
Oh, this is interesting. It's like some new levels for it. Like a DLC, it's a...
Yeah, this is kind of unique. I can actually see why this one was recommended to me.
Oh, it's a good job I picked this one then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So these enemies are not in the main game?
No, they're not. It's,
No.
it's like a modern setting, that's what it is.
Oh.
These kind of streets and stuff. You're a bit freaky, you are, isn't it?
I can't believe this was done in 2019, December 2019.
I know.
That's only 2 months ago.